Hello, and welcome to Veteran State of Mind. I'm Geraint Jones. With me today, my good mate, Alex Jones, a.k.a. Pink Mist, a.k.a. not the Alex Jones from InfoWars. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, good, mate. Happy to be back again.
Yes, we're going to do a Q&A today. Going to smash a bit of a question and answer session. I'm going to start off, I'm going to throw this one out to you, mate.
Yeah.
What should an officer do to be respected and liked by the lads? Thank you for whoever sent in the question, by the way. I haven't got the names down here, but I appreciate you sending in the questions. So, yeah.
I don't know. That is a tough one, actually. I mean, I think I've seen cases where officers have come, fresh out of the Sandhouse factory into the unit, and they immediately try to make their stance, make a mark for themselves. And I mean, you're talking, in some cases, young second lieutenants coming straight out of Sandhurst. They're what, 20?
20, well, if they've been to uni, they're probably about, what, 22, 23? Might be a bit younger if they haven't been to uni. I think most go to uni now, don't they?
Yeah. So, they and straight away they start off on a sort of bad footing amongst the guys, and you always get it. Whereas a second lieutenant comes in straight out of Sandhurst, tries to make their mark, and it's a case of, this guy's a twat.
Why do you think that? Why do you think that is, that need to make a mark when they come in? Where do you think that comes from?
I don't know. I mean, I obviously I don't know what goes on in Sandhurst, what they teach them up there, but I mean,
so Sandhurst is the Royal Military Academy where they officers go. I think it's a year at Sandhurst, isn't it? And then they go off to their respective specialist training. So platoon commander battle course. So
yeah. So I mean, I don't know what goes on up there. Obviously, they're coming into a position, and I can see from their point of view, there's a fucking lot of responsibility put on them straight away. I mean,
huge.
They're coming out of a training into an environment where they're potentially taking over the platoon of in most cases quite fucking experienced soldiers who've been in the game for in some cases years and years and
some
years.
Pretty intimidating people.
Yeah, you're going to have a mixture of people in there. You're going to have young, old. You're going to have people from different backgrounds.
Yeah,
you're going to have
people with kids, people married, single fucking 17-year-old lads who don't know how to wash.
Yeah.
It's a hell of a mix. I think one of the things that I find is most jarring with the British Army, and there's something, maybe this is quite interesting to look at, is there's still in the British Army, I would say there's a class system.
Absolutely.
So most of your officers, and I say most because not all, there are exceptions, but predominantly your officers are going to be from middle class or upper class families. They're going to probably have a university education. They probably had supportive parents and all that kind of stuff. Now, on the other end of the spectrum, and again, I'm generalising. I mean, I was a Lance Corporal and I have a degree and everything like that. But how fucking rare? Have you ever met any of the Lance Corporals? Exactly. So the lads used to call me the most qualified Jimpy gunner in NATO, which I'm sure someone might there. There's probably a PhD toting machine gunner out there somewhere, but we haven't met him. But I was rare in that. I was rare. Most of the lads do not have any. They don't have qualifications at that point, do they? And like we've discussed before, that's nothing to do with intelligence. It's a lot to do with opportunity. So a lot, and again, I'm going to generalize. So if there's any people out there going to go, oh, well, what about this one guy I knew? Shut up, okay? Just shut up. We're talking about generalizations here, which carry across most of the army. A lot of the lads are going to be from working class backgrounds. They're going to be from quite hard backgrounds. They might not know the parents. They might only know one of the parents. It's something that never really gets discussed at the time, but now we kind of left. We kind of realize this stuff. Is a lot of the lads have fucking been abused either physically or somewhere. Lads have had a tough time. Not all lads, but a lot of them have. And if you're coming in as an officer who's been to university where you're going with other mostly privileged people, and again, I'm not having a go. I'm considering myself, I'm a fucking privileged motherfucker. This would be the first time for a lot of people that they're going up into people from a totally different social and economic group of people. And it has nothing to do with intelligence or anything like that, but it's all to do with experience. So what we get to, the way we bond with other people is through shared experience and stuff like that. So from the point of view of the lads coming in, the officer usually talks differently as well. Like if you lined up a bunch of people in uniform, took all the ranks off them, I guarantee you, me and Alex could pick out who's an officer and who's not. because there's a look, isn't there? I don't know what the fuck it is, if it's something to do with genes or what, but you can usually, like 9 times out of 10, you can pick out an officer, and from the voice, you can usually pick out an officer as well. So straight away, you're coming in as an officer, you're different to the boys. Regardless of your rank, you're different to the boys. Now, what do young lads do? Anyone that's different, you instantly distrust them. You instantly want to fight them. All right, so that doesn't mean a physical fight, but there's going to be this... It's us and them. All right. So, if you are coming in that position, how do you be liked? Well, there's a lot of things I would say. Probably better to say, what do you do? What could you do to be disliked? And then avoid these things. And one of the biggest things if you want to be disliked, try to be liked. Because nothing will fucking alienate you from people more than trying to come in and being one of the boys. Because there's a weird thing, is they don't want you to be one of the boys. They want you to be their officer. They want you to be their leader. Now, I'm going to talk about our boss from... I'm not going to give his name because I don't want to give names unless people kind of consent to it. But our boss in Afghanistan was a fucking legend. And we were very lucky with him because he's already done other deployments. So he was a captain. He was a captain of the recce platoon. And to me, he was the perfect boss. And the reason he was the perfect boss was because he treated us as adults. So I very rarely saw the boss ever raise his voice or lose his temper. But we respected the fuck out of him because he was competent at what he does. So you want to be liked, you want to be respected, be good at your job. It's as simple as that to begin with, okay? If you're good at your job, then things are going to be a lot fucking easier for you. So the boss was very good at his job. But what the boss was also very good for was identifying that a platoon is not a platoon. A platoon is groups. A platoon is individuals, okay? And you need to behave differently, or you can behave differently with some people than you could do with others. So our little group, we had me, Alex, 3 other NCOs, junior NCOs like us. We had our own little group, and we always stayed in the same little section of orchard or room in a patrol base or anything like that. And the boss would come in with us sometimes, and he would sit down and he would talk to us, not as an officer to junior NCOs, but he would talk to us as a man speaking to another group of men. And we knew that he respected us, and we knew that our opinions, we could give him our opinions that we respected. He knew that if we said something to him, and then he didn't agree with it and did what he thought, that was the end of it. That's fine. That's his call as the boss. But because we'd been involved in the decision-making process, and we had been treated and respected like adults, that was all that mattered to us. It even went so far as, once he really kind of got to know us, he could take the piss out of us, we could take the piss out of him. And that's very important in a leadership position. If you're going to make jokes and have crack with the boys, you better understand that that's going to go both ways. Because if it doesn't, then what you are at that point is a bully who's using his position to take the piss out of people. Now, did the boss go and talk to 18-year-old lads, groups of 18-year-old privates, the way he talked to us as the NCOs? Did he fuck? We were all in our mid-20s. We were a bit more mature. We knew what was going on. We were all mostly on our 3rd tours, right? We knew the score. He acted very differently with the other lads than he did with us. And when he was talking to us, it would usually be away in a room or something like that. It wouldn't be in front of the others. So again, he avoided the thing of young lads seeing, oh, wow, how come these are getting treated differently or anything like that. You know, so he was very, very fucking good like that. And at briefings, he would ask for input. He would take input. If someone came up with a better idea than what he had, so if somebody was a specialist in one thing and said, boss, I think maybe if we do this like this, he would take it on. That gains you instant respect. So don't think that you know everything. So you went to Sandhurst, fan-fucking-tastic. Loads of people went to Sandhurst. You got blokes in your platoon who might have done multiple tours, probably have done multiple tours. They've got something to offer. The 18-year-old private soldier might have something to offer. You don't know what people have done before they've come in. Like the 18-year-old private soldier, his dad might have been RSM of the fucking SAS for 20 years. Yeah, you know, you don't know like what experience people have got. Ask your blokes. But don't let your blokes rule by committee. It's not a fucking democracy, all right? So you ask, but you make the decision. You're the fucking leader. Oh, you want to take over, mate?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's about building that rapport. I mean, the last thing you want to do is just come in, start screaming, shouting. Because, I mean, you very rarely see your officer, your platoon commander. Yeah. It's only now and then. And if the times that you do have face-to-face contact with your troops, you want to make sure you get the most out of it. Don't just come in and, like you were saying, taking the piss, trying to, overplaying it, trying to overemphasize everything to try and make people like you.
And there's going to be platoon sergeants in there and corporals. You're going to be the 8th or 9th boss that they've had. They've seen it all before. So you coming in thinking, I'm going to start doing this and that. They've seen it all fucking before. What they probably haven't seen before is someone that's going to come in a bit more evenly, and start treating people with respect and start asking for opinions, but being the one. I guarantee you, they've probably not seen many bosses coming in who are like, I want opinions, I make decisions. That's probably what you don't see very often.
No. And I mean, as the boss, the platoon commander, whatever it may be, you're there to look after us as well. I mean,
that's exactly, yeah.
And people want to feel like that. As soon as one person in the platoon says, "Oh, the boss doesn't give a fuck,"
yep,
that's it. It's game over. You've lost them straight away.
Totally right, mate.
And it happens a lot. I mean, people use platoons, especially young officers coming in, as a lot of it. I don't want to tarnish everybody with the same brush. As
we've both had some great bosses.
Yeah, as fucking stepping stones in most cases to get up the ladder. They come in, they take over the platoon. They know they're going to be there for a year, 2 years maybe, and it's just a stepping stone. So and in most cases they don't give a fuck about the guys. So they'll just turn up, come do the bare minimum. They're yes men. They'll do this, yeah, and they don't really.
Well, you need to decide if you want to be an officer or any leader. Are you in it for yourself or are you in it for the good of your blokes? Now, that doesn't mean being in it for the good of your blokes goes at like, oh, I've been told to take the boys on and to do the ranges, but they want to play on the PlayStation, so I'm not going to. No, it doesn't mean that at all. But it means that if you get some kind of order which doesn't make sense or which is an unnecessary fuck around, that maybe you take some flack or you take some shit rather than going, oh, well, I'm going to fucking just pass this on because shit rolls downhill. If you do that, and if it might only be one instance, but if the blokes know that there's that one time, and I'm not going to bring up particular incidents again without his permission, but there was times when our boss in Afghanistan, I came off a patrol going, I know my boss gives a fuck about my life and he gives a fuck about my mates because we got told to do something fucking stupid and he said no. And he does not say no lightly because he put himself in danger. We went into plenty of dangerous situations with him at the helm. But there were times where there was an absolutely stupid order which would have gained nothing and it was very, very fucking dangerous. Like the risk reward was not there and he said no. And there was a reason behind that. And we fucking loved him for that because we knew that he was looking out for us. And he might have had a stern word or whatever like later, but he fucking took that for his blokes. And that is a fucking leader. A real basic one as well, just to wrap this up, is if you were a leader, you better not fucking drop out of a fucking thing. Because if you drop out of something, you are fucking done. You might as well just leave the army at that point because you're never going to have the blokes' respect. They will remember that one time 5 years ago where you dropped out of a combat fitness test or something like that. There's no fucking excuse for it. And it's not even good enough for you to just make it through the fitness and stuff like that. You need to be at the front. You need to be encouraging. You need to be leading. If you are hanging out your fucking ass, like your blokes are going to look at you and going to think you are a fucking maggot. And I mean, I'm being very charitable there when I say maggot. Again, and it could happen once. You're never going to have the blokes' respect after that point, unless you, I don't know, lead a fucking bayonet charge and take out 500 Taliban or something. That's going to be a very, very, very hard one to come back to. Alex, anything more before we move on?
No, I mean, I think that's covered it quite well. Just what I will say lastly is that, remember, yeah, you are an officer. You have, you've got rank, you've got authority, but you're still a fucking man. You're still a human at the end of the day, or a man or female.
Yeah.
And yeah, you're no different to anybody else. And the moment you start thinking to yourself that you're above other people, then that's where you start looking down people's nose, and it starts goes to your head a little bit. And I mean, if the guys are out doing something, which is a bit fucking shit, fucking get out there and do it with them. Lead from the front.
Yeah.
Show them that you're just the same as them, and you're willing to put yourself in the same position that they're in, or what you're asking them to do.
And the other one, I'm just going to add one little bit. officers on tour or in camp and stuff like that, you are very busy doing paperworky kind of stuff and that kind of thing. The blokes don't see that much of you because you're away doing other stuff that might be in the offices. Unfortunately, when the blokes don't see you around, they're going to assume that you're in your room wanking or watching TV or something like that. Okay, so you need to find a way of getting your blokes involved. Now, that could just be that you constantly... So instead of having a company runner, you also have a platoon runner. So you just have one of the lads in. So when the lads are going, fucking boss, fucked off all day, he's like, no, he's been in his office all day. You should be the first one into work. You should be the first person leaving work. You know, there's plenty of stuff to keep you busy. Are you looking at this as a job or are you looking at this as your life? That's the big question. I'll leave it on there with some deep, meaningful thoughts for you to get into. Right, let's go. Next question. Okay, here's an interesting one for you, mate. Do you get used to the feeling of getting shot at?
I mean, some people... I don't know. You hear loads of people saying, "Oh, after a while you get used to it" and stuff like that. I mean, I don't think you ever get used to it. I think that fear is always in the back of your head, and it is fear. I love fucking contact as well as anybody who else has been in it, but I'm more than aware of what's going on, and all it takes is one of those little fucking bits of metal to hit you, and it's game over.
Lights out.
In most cases. So yeah, that's always in the back of your mind, but I don't think you ever get used to it. I think you learn to deal with it a lot more.
Yeah, I'd agree. Because the word I would say to this is, if you got used to it, you wouldn't have the adrenaline spike.
Yeah,
and that's what's so addictive about it, is that adrenaline spike. Because as soon as you hear that first or whatever like that, it's like, woo, fucking adrenaline's adrenaline's through the roof, and here you go. And as long as nobody gets hurt on your side, it's probably the most exciting, fun shit you'll ever do. So I don't think you get used to it, because if you got used to it, you'd just be bored, wouldn't you? And I don't think anybody can say that about fucking contact or getting shot at. What I would say is that the first few times it happens, you know, I'll tell a little story. When we were in Iraq once, I went up onto a rooftop and there was some tracer coming really low over my head. I was there with a team of lads, and I was thinking like, oh, I can't be getting shot at. That's mental. Like that's just insane. So I was saying to the lads, oh, don't worry about it. It's probably just someone celebratory fire. Next second, Apache swoops in and absolutely smokes the tree line where we were getting shot from. I was like, oh my God, they were actually shooting at me. I'm like, that's it. Oh, well, me and the boys, like, that's mental. And then the same in Afghan, the first few contacts in Afghan, you're like, I can't believe this is happening. And I think what the difference is later you hear and you're just like, oh, this is happening because you already know. And I think that's you do get used to it in that you don't have that initial 10 seconds of, well, this is a bit mad, isn't it? Like you're kind of looking at it in the third person going, oh, what's going on here?
I tell you, a few, it depends, I think, depending on the level of contact that you're in as well. I mean, I can remember a few cases where we was in Zulu and things like that. Yeah,
I mean, sometimes literally around someone might have a pop shot at you and it goes like a meter by your head or something like that, and it's just the one, and you just go, ha ha ha, and just cry. You don't even take a knee.
I can remember sometimes where you get the odd pot shot, a couple of rounds fired out of you, and you're like, fuck, it's on. Yeah, here we go, it's on. And then that's it. And you're like,
nothing happens. Yeah, nothing happens. And you're like, come on, you fucking bastards.
Yeah, and that's frustrating. It is definitely.
It is. That is the equivalent of someone pulling the knickers off, opening the legs, and then going, nope.
But if you weigh that up, I mean, you've had somebody just shoot through 3 rounds. In that case, you're like, oh, that was shit.
Well, that would be the most crazy thing that happens to most people in their life. And for us, you're like, fucking bunch of... Why are we even here if they don't want to scrap? Come on, you fucking bastards.
But yeah, you say that to other people who've never been shot, and they're like, that is fucking insane.
But I know any squaddies listening to that right now are going, yup.
Wasting my fucking time.
Yeah, wasting my time. All right, mate. Well, look, we kind of touched on this one. You vaguely brought it in earlier, so let's go for this hot topic, because we're recording this at the end of November, and this has been in the news and stuff. Hot topic. Probably people going to start getting people shouting at us now. So, what is your opinion about females in the army? Just fucking ambush you with that one, didn't I?
Yeah. Personally, I mean, obviously we're in an infantry, it's all male unit, but when I look at the likes of, I'll say a couple of names here because I'll give them a shout out because they were fucking legends. I look at the likes of Charlotte Butcher,
Butch Ledge,
Emma Pell,
Ledge.
I mean, they're better than fucking half the blokes you work with. I mean,
yeah, I mean they are better in the sense of they're more competent. They're more mature. Very good like outlook on things like that. It's definitely someone you could turn to for advice, and you know, like let's be honest. Like I think we both have kind of similar opinions on this, right? When a lot of soldiers in positions like, because I consider ourselves soldiers, we'll be soldiers forever, you know, regardless. And this is the same for anyone. If you've served, you're always going to be a soldier in your head, right? When you say that, like, for me, I don't think that there should be women in the infantry, and I'll just say that. And now, before people start going mental with me, I'll tell you why. It's not women's fault. It's blokes' fault that I don't think there should be women in the infantry. Here's why. Can women do, because some people say, oh, they can't do the same physical job. Fucking, look, there are so many blokes who fail their physical fitness test in the army. Fuck off with that excuse. It's a load of shit. You're going to find some chicks that do CrossFit and stuff like that and tell me that they can't do the job that the shitheads in your company can. So that's fucking bollocks. There are women out there who can do the job. As a generalization, yes, men are stronger, men are bigger, but there are some that can do it. So that is not a fucking excuse. Here's where it comes down to for me, right? The important thing about the army and about the infantry especially is cohesion. And if you get a bunch of like 30 lads together, you're going to have friction in the platoon. Sometimes there's going to be personality clashes and things like that. Those are quite hard to deal with as it is. When I think back about the most friction I ever knew in the army, it usually came down to, because there was a female involved somewhere. It could have been a civvy, could have been in uniform, and there was same lads after the same girl. And there is nothing in the world that's going to cause a fucking fight like a couple of 18-year-old bags of hormones who want to fucking get with the same chick. Now, is that fair to women to say that women shouldn't be allowed in the infantry because men can't control their hormones? No, it's not fair. But you know what else is not fair? Most of the shit that goes on in the infantry is not fair. It's not fair that some people in the company get treated like cunts because some lads can't turn up on time. It's not fair that some people get fucking the good lads fucking die and some of the fucking arseholes come through. There's a lot of stuff that's not fair. War is not fair. The army is not fair. I feel fucking really bad for some of the women out there who are super competent. And like, I was never in the special forces. I'm sure there are people who disagree. If you are one of these women who is more competent or anything like that, I would actually say try and find a fucking circuitous route into the special forces rather than go into a company of 18 to 23-year-old walking, raging hard-ons who are just going to try and smash you. People say, well, the lads should grow up, the lads should behave. If they were growing up and behaving, they wouldn't be in a fucking infantry wanting to kill people day in, day out. The two do not go in hand. Do you want young lads who want to bayonet people in the fucking face? If the answer is yes, then those same lads are going to want to fucking... They're going to want to fuck. And like everybody knows the cliche about the squaddies because it's true. We're nuts. We fucking fight amongst each other like fuck as it is. It's not women's fault. However, do you want an effective force or do you not? And here's the other thing as well, and this is 100% true. If I saw, as I have done, mates of mine get injured or whatever like that, you crack on with your job. If Emma with us had gone down, I think the whole company would have come to a stop because she was like, because she was more like it's. Again, and I know if you're a raging feminist or something right now, you probably want to castrate me. But listen, I'm just saying how it is. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying the fucking reality. Can we just be grown up and look at the reality, not the perfect world? The perfect world, 100%, I would want equal parity across the fucking board. It's not a perfect world. If it was a perfect world, the Taliban wouldn't be fucking cutting people's heads off because they want to believe in a different God. This is the world that the fucking army operates in. The army operates in the real world, or it should operate in the real world. Now, people will bring up examples like Peshmerga and stuff like that. I'm pretty sure, I could be wrong on this, but I do think the Peshmerga actually have a female unit. And I haven't got a problem with that. I have not got a problem with women doing an infantry role in their own unit. My problem is it entirely boils down to the fact that lads are going to try and fucking bang them. And here's the other thing as well. Like in this culture of sexual harassment, stuff like that, we've discussed on the podcast before, me and Alex, and this is like any infantryman listening now, mostly squaddies are going to be agreeing. It is a vile, disgusting place of just utter degenerate behavior. Like, so what happens if okay, people are saying that the females should be treated equally. Alex used to run into my room, helicopter in his cock in my fucking face. I'd run into his room and fucking stick my ass onto his fucking nose as he's trying to have a biscuit and a cup of tea. If we do that to a female in the army, is that going to be allowed to slide? Or do we all have to now pretend that we are well-behaved individuals? Because you know what a well-behaved individual doesn't want to do is go out and kill people. And your job is to go out and kill people. I do not believe that you can have one without the other. Maybe I'm wrong. It's my opinion, my podcast. Fuck off if you don't like it. But no, I'm seriously. Look at the bonkers things that we used to do. Like use a paintbrush to look for a bomb. If you're looking for a paintbrush to look for a bomb, then like you can't be sane. You can't be normally behaved. Those two things do not go with each other. Alex,
no, you're
take
right.
the reins.
You're right. I mean, you're asking, like I said, I mentioned earlier, you're asking people to go into a country and fucking kill humans. I mean, you're not going to be sane, and then trying to, I don't know where I'm going with it, but
no, I know where you're going for it, mate. Is where you're going for it is you're asking normalized civil behavior from a group of people that you then ask to go and do the most least civilized action on the world.
Yeah,
kill people. You can have one or the other, and I'll be fucking proved right on this. So I don't give a fuck saying it. You start and here's the other thing as well. I will say that a lot of this stuff comes from people, not all people, because some of you are just virtue signaling motherfuckers. But a lot of people, it's coming from a good place, right? I understand it. And like I say, I would be quite happy having a section of 7 women if they were all physically fit, if they were all determined, everything like that. I haven't got a problem with that. However, I also knew myself when I was 18 years old. And out of those 7, I am 100% going to try and have sex with one of them. Because I'm an 18-year-old lad. I'm 20. Well, no, fuck me, I'm not now. What am I, 30-something? Oh my God, I'm old as fuck. No, but, you know, that's the fucking reality of it. That's what lads are like. And I feel like I was probably one of the most reserved.
Yeah.
Like, look, let's be honest, right? Here's some of the things that will go on in the block of troops. Fucking spit roasts, airtights, 4 or 5 people involved with the same other person. Lads throwing piss and shit at each other. It is strategically shaved chimpanzees with guns, all right? That's how it is. Don't even get me started on what the fucking paras are like and the Marines. Those lads are they're another level of degeneracy up again. And it has to be that way because you are asking people to go out and do mental fucking killing stuff. You can't have a bunch of choir boys doing it. You need a bunch of raging gorillas. Oh, mate.
True.
So, my opinion on females in the army. Like I said before, I think Emma was with us, deserved a military cross or something like that. I think she is one of my personal fucking heroes. Mate, I can't say enough about her. And I know that she is indicative of female combat medics in general. Most of them are like that.
Yeah.
You know, so there's that. But it's just in the infantry that I knew. And I mean, one of my obsessions in life is reading war memoirs and stuff like that. And it seems to be that that's what the infantry's always been like. And the infantry, British Army infantry, is pretty fucking effective. I don't know why you want to go and fuck with that system. Is it fair? No. Life isn't fair in a lot of ways. Maybe a female unit would be like if I was pulling the shots, I'd have a fucking all-female unit, basically. I don't even know how many females would want to be in infantry, to be honest. If I fucking came in and that was behaviour, I'd be fucking gone.
Yeah. It's a fucking disgusting place to be.
It's disgusting. I look back on it now and I'm just like, Jesus Christ, we should have all been locked up, which essentially we were.
I can remember.
We were locked up in a patrol base and allowed to shoot people.
I can remember on numerous occasions being in the shower and having someone pissing over me.
Yeah, you feel like, oh, the shower just got warm. Oh, no, It's one of my mates pissing over me. What's that poking me in the back? Oh, it's one of the lads with a hat on.
Yeah, and the worst thing about it is looking back at it now and thinking, yeah, at the time, it was probably just you dirty twat. And that was it. I mean, that's what you get.
You start pissing back.
Yeah, you would have a piss fight then.
Yeah, piss fight.
Standard.
I'm sorry, any parents that are listening to this, but if your child was in the infantry, he's a fucking mess and you failed him. But no, that's the reality of it. I don't know what the answer is. I just don't think that the answer is to mix the units. I just think that it's going to make everything worse. And again, I'm not saying it's not the fault of the females. There's plenty out there who could do the job and do it better than most guys. But we're being realistic about this. And as we've said before, you know where these good intentions get you when it comes to army and war is it gets people fucking killed. Because maybe somebody like you get somebody, I'm just going to throw out a fucking hypothetical there. Someone female in the platoon goes down. Few of the lads kind of got romantic intentions on her. Why? Because they're fucking 18 years old, full of hormones. They break down, the section attacks break down, your momentum gets broken down. If you lose momentum in a contact, you are absolutely fucked. You get more casualties, everything like that. Is it fair? No. War's not fair. The army's not fair. Move on to the next question. What regiment has the most thunder cunts in it? Thank you for that question. Fucking love it. Thunder cunts. Thunder cunts I go. Say that again, mate. I'll cut you off.
HCR.
HCR being?
Household Cavalry Regiment.
And why do they have the most thunder cunts in it?
I just fucking hate them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the talking about the class system that still sort of exists. I mean, I think HCR are quite well known for their sort of their officers' structure, where they come from. And
yeah, they've got a very heavily aristocratic, and I don't know if these rumours are true, but again, these are the rumours that reach us in the lowly dregs of the infantry. And those rumours are things like that if you don't have a second income, i.e. from like if you're not from a fucking rich family, you basically will not be accepted into that regiment and stuff like that. When we fucking saying stuff like this, we're having a laugh, people. So please don't start blowing up my thing going, oh, my cousin was in the HCR and I know there's fucking good people in HCR, okay? I know there's fucking good lads. I've met some of them. But it's the fucking army. We like to have a bit of banter. Fuck off and listen to someone else if you're offended by stuff like this. So, for me, the reason I dislike them...
I know what's coming. I know what's coming.
What? Go on.
Raf? Reg?
No, I'm with you on the HCR, mate. I'm with you on the HCR. And the reason why is because one thing that I really, really disagree with and dislike, and this is in life in general as well, is the do as I say, not as I do. So when we were in Afghan and we were getting ordered to have fucking buzz cuts and everything like that, and then you see a household cavalry officer with fucking dreadlocks near enough, that your typical aristocratic kind of long hair, that to me says everything that's wrong with the British Army now. That it's still a class system of you've got the scum of the earth in the infantry, which, as we've just been discussing,
you're probably right.
We're probably right. However, lead by example. If you're telling your blokes to get buzz cuts, get a fucking buzz cut. If you're telling your blokes not to wear this kind of camouflage, don't wear that kind of camouflage. I have never seen that more blatantly done than the Household Cavalry Regiment. There's also little things that, and these are things that are amplified and might not sound like a big deal to you, but when you're on tour and you're part of a battle group, when the officers in charge of that battle group never come around and speak to you as a person, you feel like you are nothing but a fucking number and a walking sandbag for that person. You feel like you are nothing but a tool for him to get an MBE. You do not feel valued. You do not feel like a person. When we were with the Fusiliers battle group in Afghanistan, I felt like I was a valid fucking member of that battle group. I felt like this officer who, he'd never even spoken to me personally, but because I'd known and saw him come around the lines, talking to the lads, all that kind of stuff, you could tell he genuinely cared. Unfortunately, we had one of our guys passed away, and the guy that came, there was a group of us who were with the Fusiliers at the time, and the CO and the RSM personally came to us to break the news about that tragedy, and I could tell that he was fucking broken. He'd never even met this lad of ours, and he was grieving. You could fucking see it. Both of them were. And you know what? There was never an exchange I had. I would have gone out and fucking died for that bloke, because I knew that is a real officer. That was okay. The other bloke who commanded us for about 4 months, I don't know one of our blokes in the company who ever got spoken to by him. I know plenty who got spoken to down from him, but no, he never actually spoke. He never made us. And I just felt like we are Welsh cannon fodder here, and he is the fucking hoorah Henry who's about to start fox hunting. And, maybe he's a good bloke. Personally, I think he's a cunt. And I'm going to stick with that opinion until I'm proved differently. And the only way you can prove it differently is if we go fucking back in time and he behaves totally different. So I don't think that's going to happen. There were some good lads from Household Cavalry that were with us in Afghan. There was a couple of them, good blokes, squared away blokes. Personally, I can't understand why somebody wants to join a regiment like that. I just can't understand why you would want to join and be a lad in that. If anybody does and wants to fucking talk to the podcast, I'd love to have you on, because it's like, I'm sure you have fucking great reasons. I just can't wrap my head around it. You know, but yeah, I've never, and here's the other thing as well, like, Musakala underwent a massive difference when the Fusiliers left and the HCR took over. It used to be a place you'd go there and there was this feeling of, because there was a few different cap badges there, a few different units, and there was this just feeling of everybody, we're in this to fucking gather, blokes. And you know what, you lads in the Fusiliers, if you're in fucking bads, if something fucking bad comes with you, we will risk our fucking lives to come to your aid. And we know you're going to risk your lives to come to our aid. And we're in this fucking fight together. Let's go out and fuck Terry Taliban up. Fuck me. When the fucking HCR took over, it was more a case of, I felt like I was the ginger stepchild. And I say we felt like we were ginger stepchild. We weren't wanted there. We were fucking second-class citizens. We weren't good enough to be around them. And that was borne out by the actions that I saw. I saw fucking Anglians having fights in the Scoff House with them because they were getting treated like dirt. We were getting treated like dirt. All kinds of different cap badges would say exactly the same thing. So this isn't just a couple of Royal Welsh lads who were saying like they've stuck for whatever reason. This is from everybody, and the way that they would go out of their way to stitch up blokes. And here's one as well. And this one sums it up to me. Sometimes we would have to do an operation to get up to, well, not an operation, but like it's pretty tasty clearing that route to get up there. Hard work, especially in the winter when the tracks just turn to slop. Fucking hard work to get up there. Let's say we got there at 5:10 and their Scoff House had closed at 5. They wouldn't have held any food back for us or anything like that. We launched into a big operation which lasted for we lasted for a couple of weeks, I suppose, didn't it? Like when you think about it, we stayed in the patrol base. We rolled out of their main patrol base. They opened the Scoff House 10 minutes after we left. Like, things like that, little things like we have a company attached to us. We're not going to put Scoff on for them. Fuck them. Things like that speak volumes about a fucking regiment, man. So yeah, I would say, as far as regiment Azimos Thunder concerned, we got a unanimous decision here. We're gonna go for a House Called Cavalry Regiment. Come at me, boys. If you want to chat, if you actually want to have a chat, then please, by all means, hit me up on social media, because I know we're fucking being quite flippant and stuff here, and I would actually genuinely love to know what like an opinion from somebody that served in the HCR. I actually met a great bloke, and I tell you what, you want to read a book about Afghanistan? Go and read Rain by Barney Campbell. It is one of the best books that I've ever read, hands down. Barney is a fucking lovely bloke. He's a household cavalry officer. Really fucking, like, he reminds me of Boris Johnson, but more switched on. But he has that same kind of accent, you know. And his book Rain it's great. It captures everything, every emotion about what it's like to be in Afghanistan, and he writes fucking beautifully. So definitely go out and get Barney Campbell Rain. Barney was a HCR officer, and I think he's great. So, you know, I've just fucking contradicted myself, but we're talking about the most. We're not saying everyone, we're saying the most. Barney's somebody who I'm trying to get onto this podcast, because I think he's, well, you know, with my own writing, I've definitely looked to Barney's writing as a standard which I'm trying to live up to. So, yeah, we are being quite flippant with answers, but like we said before, it's our podcast. Fuck off if you don't like it. All right. Right, here's one for you, mate. Would you ever leave the army? Why did you leave the army, and would you ever go back? Well, you don't have to answer the leave bit if you don't want to, but would you ever go back?
Would I ever go back? Ooh. Now, not a chance.
Yeah, agreed.
Not a chance in hell would I ever go back. I mean, I'd go back to...
Well, let's tell people why that would be. Why would it be that you wouldn't go back?
I mean... from where I joined, it's a very different place now. I mean,
You joined in?
I joined in 2003.
Right, okay. So basically Iraq kicking off.
Yeah, I mean, there was a lot going on. Iraq was going on, then Afghanistan. So you were pretty busy. I'd go back on tour.
Yes.
I'd definitely go back on
I think if we had a phone call now, we'd both be in the car on our way down to base right now, wouldn't we?
Yeah, but
After stocking up on some mass.
I think... to go back to just a general sort of unit in the army now. There's no way. There's just, if I'm honest, I don't want to slag the army off, but there is so much bullshit. I feel now that I've been out of the army for getting on 5 years, I've matured a lot. And I look back at things that happened in the army whilst I was there, and I just think, why, what the fuck was the point of it?
And that's part of that is just getting older.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
you're 30?
32 now.
32. I mean, that's just part of getting older. Yeah. You know, he's like, it's seeing that stuff. For me, mate, it's the same. I would go back on Telic 10, which was Iraq in 2007. Or I would go back to Afghan in a fucking heartbeat. In fact, not only would I go back if someone asked me, I am actively trying to build a time machine so that I can go back. And looking forward to the day where virtual reality is at a level where basically you'll never hear from me again, because I'm going to stick a headset on and I'm going to be running around my living room back on tour for the rest of my life. And I think there's a lot of people probably listening, nodding away right now, going, yeah, totally agree. But being back in camp, fuck that. I can't think of anything worse. I think, again, this is something that you just realise as you get older. I'm at the wise old age of 35 now. And you realise how precious time is. And when I look back to how much time is wasted in the army, like, you go to one parade, you're told, right, go back to your rooms, come back in an hour. Like, I wish I'd been more active in filling that time. So this isn't just, and I'm not having to go to the army because it's the way it has to be. There's a lot of these things that's just like, it's not great for you individually, but it's the way it needs to be. There's a lot of reasons going on. You're a private soldier. The world doesn't fucking revolve around you, you know? So there are going to be times where you do have to just go to your fucking room or stand around the stores or something like that. You know, and I just think, like, there was a lot of time spent waiting around, which is why I enjoyed being a PTI, because I actually had a full work day, and it was like, you know, you finished what you had to do and you could go and find other stuff to do, doing training programs for individuals or companies, wherever it was, and it was a lot more rewarding. But actually being in a rifle company, there's so much of the old hurry up and wait. And like now, I just think that I value my time too much to want to do that. And you get hurry up and wait on operations as well. Fucking most of your time on operations is stood around waiting for something to happen. You know, you're not on patrol constantly or anything like that. A lot of the time you're stood in a sangha wanking and thinking, what the fuck am I doing here? I need to get another job. So yeah, for me, I would go back on tour 100%. I want to go back in. My reasons for leaving, like I've said before, I actually came in through the back door, through the TA, and the reason I came in through the back door was because I wanted to go on operations. I managed to squeeze 3 tours into quite a short period of time. The reason I left was because it didn't look like there was any more on the horizon. Things were winding down. Obama had announced the troop pullout from Afghanistan. And even when we were there, we noticed a change in rules of engagement and everything. And I would go back definitely, but I definitely also felt like I realized very quickly in Afghanistan that we were on a losing end of something. Even though we might win tactical victories there, strategically we were fucking doomed to failure. And you know, I didn't know if I wanted to go put myself through seeing people, you know, good lads die for a lost cause. You know, now with hindsight, I would go back, but obviously I say that I would go back, but you know, fuck me. I say when I say I would go back, in my head I'm thinking we all get through okay. And now if someone said, well, if you could go back again but one of the lads dies, would you do? Then obviously I fucking wouldn't, you know. So I think that goes without saying. But there's people who are fucking assholes out there and they'll go, well, what about people dying? So fuck you. And yeah, so the reason I left was because, well, one of the reasons was I was fed up being treated like a kid. One of the incidents that really sealed it for me, it was like I was umming and ahhing about whether I was going to continue to stay on. I was at the point of having to finalise the paperwork. And I'd spent a lot of my spare time writing this training program for a company, really fucking, like, I was doing my own qualifications on the side. I put a lot of work into this. I took it in to show the Sergeant Major. And as he's looking over it from his computer on the other side of the desk, he pointed something out. And I leaned over to where it was. I put my hand on his desk and he fucking screamed at me, get your fucking hand off that desk. And I just, in that moment, I was like, I'm not staying here. I'm done. This is fucking ridiculous. This is ridiculous. I have just spent days working on this. I've come in here and I was being very respectful to sirs and everything like that. And I thought, he thinks he can talk to me like that because I put a fucking hand on a piece of wood. This is fucking stupid. I'm getting out of here. And I went and I never paid my corporal's mess bill. Fuck you. You ain't ever getting my money.
Didn't pay mine when I left.
Yes.
Fuck them.
We're changing this to the no fucking mess bill paying club. Anyone out there who's paid your mess bills, you suckers. All right, lads. Thanks. Well, lads and ladies and transgenders and dogs and cats and whoever else is listening in. Thanks very much. Really fucking appreciate your time. Thank you for sticking with us. Just going to give a little sales spiel at the end because man's got to make a living. Holding him up to the camera now. My new book, Siege, is out. It's been out for a while by the time you've heard this. Blood Forest also out. Blood Forest and Siege, both by Geraint Jones. Books about fighting, books about killing, books with bad language, soldiers behaving badly. If you like the stuff on the podcast, you'll like the books. If you want to follow us on social media, at Veteran State of Mind, that's one word, that you'll find that across social media. And me personally, at GRJ Books, Golf Romeo Juliet Books, one word. You find that across social media, mostly active on Instagram. If you have any questions or anything like that you'd like to contribute to the podcast, please send them in to me over Facebook, Instagram. They're probably the best two to get me. Or go to the Veteran State of Mind website. That's veteranstateofmind.com and .co.uk. You can submit questions through there. Thanks very much for your time. Alex, cheers for coming in, mate. Fucking love having you in.
Happy days, mate. Happy to be here.
Happy fucking days. But all right, guys, this has been Veteran State of Mind. Thank you very much. And goodbye, good night, good day, wherever you are. Thank you.